Hello my wonderful friends, and welcome back to another video. Welcome to beautiful Gran Canaria. We're currently at the Maspalomas Tabaiba Princess here in Maspalomas. We booked this hotel through TUI and I wanted to share a little bit about this hotel with you, how I found it, what it's like in terms of accessibility and what it's like. So if that all sounds like good stuff to you, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. Check out some of my previous travel videos, and if you haven't already seen it, check out my flight video here as well, flying to Gran Canaria. So I actually put into Google, I want to stay in a tropical, vibey hotel, kind of Mauritian / Caribbean, but without a long flight. Can you recommend anywhere? And this is where it came up with, so kind of took a chance on it. The hotel itself, on first impressions, is absolutely gorgeous. So this is our first TUI holiday experience. I've never done a package holiday like this before, but I have been very pleasantly surprised. I have seen that they've recently kind of ramped up their accessibility. They send an accessibility team out to certain hotels to report back on what the hotels are like in terms of accessibility. So the travel agents can speak to the specialist access team to answer any of the questions like I had about access, etc. Getting through the airport was absolutely fine, and we were met by the TUI team who had organised us a private transfer, which was awesome. We had a really lovely Mercedes taxi. This was actually arranged at no extra cost because the coaches themselves aren't accessible. So the hotel is one hotel split into two. So you've got the Maspalomas side and then you've got the Tabaiba side. The Tabaiba side is more of like an adult side. It's not adults only, but it is kind of classed as a more adult side. And then you've got the Maspalomas side, which is more of a family side where you've got the entertainment and you've got the kids clubs, and there's a little bit of entertainment and games arcades downstairs. We're staying on the Tabaiba side. I found it to be lovely and quiet. I do wear earplugs at night, so that probably helped. But yeah, no, it's really lovely and quiet. We've got a lovely view from our room as well. We've got a pool view room, which is lovely to wake up to with a cup of tea in the morning. It's got lagoon pools with zero entry. It's got a man-made beach. It's got beautiful tropical gardens. It's almost like being back in Queensland. It's honestly completely nailed the brief. So first things first, you're probably interested in about the accessibility and the rooms, etc. So tiny little bit of a down mark here. When I went to book the rooms, they said you can only fit 2 people in a wheelchair accessible room, which I was really disappointed about, because, you know, when we go to Florida, you can fit, what is it, like 5 or 6 people in an accessible room in Disney. And obviously we don't want Daisy in a room on her own. So we did take a chance and we actually just booked a normal room with a sofa bed for Daisy, and I've actually found it to be fine. The light switches are at a great height, everything's at a great height, the bed, the floors are all wooden. I can even get out onto the balcony, although we do have to lift up the sofa bed. And then the bathroom itself, okay, there are no grab rails around the toilet, but the toilet is quite low down, which I don't find too difficult just to transfer into the wheelchair. The sink is okay, I can see myself in the mirror, which is always a bonus, isn't it? And the bath, okay, is a little bit sketchy, but I can just about transfer into the bath, plop down and use the shower. I'm not here on my own, so that's fine. I asked a couple of times if I could see an accessible room, and then I also reached out to their media team as well, but unfortunately they said I couldn't go and see one because they don't have one free ready for me to film. So hopefully we can put in some stock footage. If based on what the hotel has been like, it's been really accessible. So this is the courtesy room that they give you. There's 3 to choose from, and this is the accessible one. Roll under sink, shower there, towels there. Lovely and clean. And freshen up. I would think that an accessible room would be similar on the same sort of lines as this. And they also have family rooms with zero entry showers, which are really, really gorgeous as well. The rooms themselves are spotlessly clean, and that is something I've noticed about the whole hotel. There's loads of staff on hand all the time. They're constantly cleaning, constantly replenishing the rooms. The floors are spotless, the pools are spotless, the toilets around the pool I have found them to be spotless as well. In terms of accessibility around the hotel, 10 out of 10. Honestly, can't fault it really. Some of the ramps are super steep and probably not like ADA compliant, but they're there, it's fine. And then there are the compliant ramps as well, so it's really lovely to wheel around. In terms of getting in the pools, I am quite happy to do a chair to floor plop-in transfer, as you can see going on right now. And there's lots of like different entry points. There's also a 0 entry point as well, where you could wheel your wheelchair sort of in and then transfer through. I need to find out if they've got poolside wheelchairs, and I have spoken to a guy today who said that they were told there were hoists as well. So I'll double check on that and let you know if there are hoists to get in. With the adult pool, there are steps to get in, but I just do a chair to floor transfer. And what is worth noting is that the floors all around the pool are very slippery, and there's lots of hazardous like slip signs there. So if you're like an ambulatory wheelchair user or you have reduced mobility, definitely something worth noting. Along the outside of the man-made beach, there is a rickety kind of like pathway for buggies and wheelchairs if you need to access that area as well. But we have tended to stay the other side of the pools. There's like tiled access, and today we're in one of the Balinese beds, which is absolutely gorgeous, but you do have to pay a little premium for the day. I think it was €25 for the day. Dawn and Daisy have actually gone horse riding, and I'm staying here perfectly happy, entertaining myself. We're here at the first week of the summer holidays, and I really thought it was going to be super duper busy, but it's not at all. It's busy, there's a buzz, there's an atmosphere, but it's not like, you know, wildly busy that it's uncomfortable and you can't get beds and you've got to queue everywhere. Not at all. Did I even say they've got reserved beds for wheelchair users, which is super cool.
Hey Daisy, what do you think about these new towels we've got?
Oh, I think they're just so great.
What about you, Jem? Have you got yours ready?
Yep, I'm ready. Let's go to the pool.
So we found our spot that we've been going to every day. There are plenty of pools to choose from. I absolutely love the lagoony pools that we've been swimming in that you can probably just see in there. And then they've got activities going on in the furthest lagoon pool, which you might be able to hear later. Water aerobics, dancing, games. There's so much to do, honestly. It's great. Then there's the adults only pool. They do yoga around there and Pilates, and it's a bit of a chilled vibe. And then round the other corner, which you can't see, there's almost like this little aqua park with like a splash pad, and then there's also slides as well, and it's great because adults are using them as well and having fun. As you can imagine, Sean was loving it in there. And then behind that there's like an amphitheatre type thing where they do evening entertainment. Entertainment's okay, it's there, it's fine, it's a bit of fun. I wouldn't say we're a little bit spoilt probably with Disney, with the like Broadway shows and going to see West End shows, but yeah, it's great fun with all of the bars there as well. They have kids entertainment as well, and I can imagine Daisy when she was younger absolutely loving that. There's honestly so much. There is a gym, there's a spa.
Numero uno.
You can see what activities are going on throughout the day in the hotel. They've got like these big kind of iPhone screens in the lobbies that you can check out, and then you can also download the app before you come and it will show you what there is, and you can also book the other restaurants. So let's talk about food and drink. So this hotel, one of the things that kind of drew me towards it as well is all inclusive, which is great. No one's got to worry about anything. Take a bit of a chance because I've heard mixed reviews on the food. You know what? I think it's good. I mean, we would probably have like outstanding, excellent, good, and then moderate and bad. And I would say it's good. There is so much choice. I love the breakfast. There's something for everyone. They're also very allergy conscious, and they've got lots of the allergens and the labels out that show you what's in the food. There are also gluten-free options. I would say if you have a very, very severe allergy, you'd probably need to speak to the staff first, but they are conscious and aware of it. And there's also a separate gluten-free menu that you can look at. I was talking to a lady today who was saying that it is a little bit basic, and she's not quite sure if it's worth it if you're paying for all-inclusive and it's not really there. So downstairs there is like the market area where there is honestly so much choice of food, salads, breads, cold stuff, hot stuff. They also have reserved tables for wheelchair users or people with disabilities, but we like to sit outside. And then there's drink stations. You've got all of your wines, your beers, Prosecco, and then all of your soft drinks, waters, teas and coffees as well. That's pretty much available nearly all day. And then by the pool, you've got 2 snack bars. There is one which is more of a kiddie snack bar with chips and pizzas and fish fingers and hot dogs and those kind of things, and then a little bit of salad as well, which is Daisy's favourite one. And then my favourite one is La Chosa, which has like fruits and salads and more adult hot food as well. And then you can either sit in those lovely bars or you can bring the food back to where you're sitting by the pool as well. Then dotted around, you've got 3 drink bars where you can get all of your drinks, funnily enough. There's like a self-serve cocktail machine, which kind of like you choose which cocktail you want and then it spits it out, and there's non-alcoholic and alcoholic cocktails, soft drinks, and then you've got your ice cream on tap, which Daisy is loving. I think her favourite one is the coconut and chocolate. And if that wasn't enough choice, then you've also got on one side the Italian restaurant where we're going for dinner tonight, which I'm really excited about, and then on the other side you've got an Asian restaurant, which I'm not too excited about. And also the big market place like diner is open for lunch as well. So if you don't want to go to one of the snack bars and you want to have more of a civilized lunch, you can go in there, and there is so much choice. It is unreal. Downstairs there are a few little shops, so they are a little bit more expensive, but if there's an emergency and you need something, it's good to know. There's like a pharmacy kind of shop, and then next to that is like more of a souvenir-y shop with a few snacks that you can buy if you. Then up on like the boulevard where you've got the 2 restaurants that I was talking about, there are also a couple of clothes shops and jewellery shops as well, which look lovely. You can also book extra tours and excursions. Some of them are wheelchair accessible and some aren't. Because we did this through TUI, I was just able to ask them. Another thing that is good to know is that, as I said, Sean and Daisy have gone horse riding today.
Hairnet on to cover my locks.
You need a hairnet.
So I'm riding Yoga, Daisy's riding Cookie. Riding into them there hills.
Booked that separately actually because it was cheaper. They could have accommodated me if I wanted to have gone horse riding, which I would have absolutely loved to have done. But this old neck, this old back, it's just no. Lots to do. You won't be bored here, that's for sure. So last night we did actually have a little bit of an adventure, and we got a taxi from the hotel down to the lighthouse, which is kind of like one of the main landmarks in Maspalomas. And if you're looking at the lighthouse and you're looking out to sea, to the left of it is a lovely beach with kind of like a boardwalk along it and lots of bars and hotels. And then behind that there are some shops, and it's almost like a little bit like a bazaar in there, and a really lovely atmosphere. And then if you're looking at the lighthouse and then you go to the right
Side of the lighthouse, we have
Disney
another
Springs.
shopping centre. Yeah.
Disney
It's like Disney Springs, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially with the music going.
I think Disney Springs is modelled on like a Mediterranean village.
Is it?
Is it?
Yeah.
I think so. feels a little bit more upmarket with more high-end shops and bars and restaurants as well. I think it cost us like £4 to get a taxi down and then £4 to get a taxi back, and it was really easy. We did taxi rank. They've got accessible taxis or bigger taxis and small taxis as well. And just to finish up by saying that the hotel itself, I was really pleasantly surprised. Really beautiful inside. The lobby is really lovely. Beautiful marble floors, which are a wheelchair user's absolute dream to roll around in. Glass lifts, so you can see everything clearly. And yeah, it's just been fantastic. We've got a few more days left. We're having lots of fun, beginning to relax. And would I come back? Absolutely. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know. Do you fancy giving this hotel a go? Would you come here? Have you been here? And what did you think of it? And if you've got any questions or you want to know something in more detail, hit me up down below or over on Instagram, and I'll be happy to answer any of your questions. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more content, and I look forward to seeing you in my next one. Bye!